The attorney who shows up on video every week wins the case before the client ever calls. And the attorney who does not, well, they lose to someone who does. Here is what is actually happening when someone needs a lawyer. They do not call the first firm they find. They watch, they research, they compare, and whoever they see on video the most during that window is the one they feel like they already know, the one they trust before they have even spoken a word. The problem is most attorneys know this and still do not do it. Not because they do not want to, because producing video consistently is a nightmare. What if you could solve that problem completely? That is what this video is all about. I'm Mark Apple, founder and partner of Forward Push Law Firm Marketing. We've been in business for over 15 years and we work exclusively with law firms. I've even written 2 Amazon #1 bestsellers specifically for attorneys on how to grow their practice. And Forward Push, well, we've been recognized on the Inc. 5000 list. I tell you that not to impress you. I tell you so that you know this is not theory. Everything I'm going to walk through today, we have built, tested, and deployed for real law firms. This is video 2 in a 3-part series called How and What Should I Be Using AI For, specifically for law firms. If you missed video 1, go watch it. It covers the AI foundation your firm needs before any of this will make sense. Today, we're going to go deep on one specific tool that is changing how law firms build trust with prospects before the first call ever happens. We call it Counsel Twin AI. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what it is, how it works, why it matters, and whether it's right for your firm. If you're finding this useful already, subscribe. I put out tactical content for law firm owners and managing partners every week. No fluff, just what you need to hear. So let me tell you what I hear from attorneys constantly. Mark, I know I should be doing video, I just don't have the time. We tried it for 2 months and then it fell apart. I hate being on camera. We do not have a production person. By the time I write a script, film it, edit it, and post it, I've lost half a day. Do any of these sound familiar? Here's the thing. Every single one of those is a real, legitimate obstacle. I'm not going to tell you that you should just need more discipline or a better content calendar. The production burden is real. A single well-produced video for a law firm can take anywhere from 2 to 6 hours of actual attorney time when you add up scripting, filming, reviewing, approving, and that's before anyone edits a frame. So what happens? Well, you post 4 videos, then life gets busy. A big case lands, someone on staff leaves, and the channel gets silent for 3 months. And here's the brutal part about that silence. The research window does not care about your schedule. When someone is searching for a family law attorney after their spouse files for divorce, they're watching videos right now, tonight at 11 o'clock. When a business owner gets hit with a contract dispute, they're on YouTube trying to figure out who they can trust. And when someone's parent dies and the family is fighting over the estate, they're looking for an estate planning or probate attorney who seems like they know what they're talking about. The window is usually 2 days to maybe 3 weeks. That's how long most people research before they call. And if your firm goes silent for 3 months, you're invisible during that window for hundreds of potential clients. The firm that posts consistently wins, not because their videos are better, but because they showed up when you didn't. So let us talk about what this technology actually is. An AI video avatar, what we call a Counsel Twin, is a digital version of the attorney. Here's how it works at a very basic level. The attorney records a training session, usually 3 to 5 minutes. We capture how they speak, their mannerisms, their pacing, their natural vocabulary. The AI learns their voice, their appearance, their delivery style. And after that training session, the attorney never has to sit in front of a camera again to produce that content. Instead, we write the scripts and the Counsel Twin delivers it on video, in the attorney's voice, with the attorney's face, looking like the attorney filmed it that week. The video can then go to YouTube, to the firm's website, to social media, even to email campaigns. No camera setup, no lighting, no Can we do that take again? No blocking out 3 hours on a Tuesday afternoon. This is not science fiction. This is deployed right now. We're doing this for law firms today. I want to make sure you understand the specific problem this solves, because it's not just about having more content. It's about the trust window. Think about what happens in the mind of someone who needs a lawyer. They have a problem, often a scary one. A criminal charge, a divorce, an immigration issue, a business partner who just betrayed them, a tax situation that keeps them up at night. They are not in a neutral state of mind. They are scared or angry or both, and they go looking for someone they can trust. Now, here's the psychology that matters. Video creates parasocial trust. This is the technical term for it. Parasocial trust is the feeling of knowing someone, of trusting them, even though they've never actually met them. It's the same reason people feel like they know their favorite podcast host, or a news anchor they've watched for years, or a YouTuber they follow. You feel like you know them because you have heard their voice, seen their face, watch how they think. That is exactly what consistent video does for an attorney. A prospect watches 3 of your videos over 2 days. By the time they call your office, they already feel like they know you. They are not calling to evaluate you anymore. They're calling to hire you. That is the difference between a firm that converts at 40% and a firm that converts at 70%. The prospect who watched your videos already made the decision. The call is a formality. Now scale that. If your Counsel Twin is publishing 2 or 3 videos a week on what to expect in a custody hearing, or how business owners should structure their agreements, or what happens if you miss an IRS deadline, or what the first 30 days of a criminal case looks like, you are building that parasocial trust with hundreds of prospects simultaneously, while you are in court, while you're in depositions, even while you're sleeping. That is the real value here, not the technology, the compounding trust. And I know what some of you are thinking right now, because I've had this conversation with attorneys across every practice area. So let me go through the real objections. Will it look fake? This is the most common one I hear. And the honest answer is, it depends on the quality of the system and the training. The technology has moved dramatically in the last 12 months. Early versions of AI avatars were obvious. Uncanny valley stuff. You could tell immediately. This is not where we are at right now. The better systems, the ones we use, produce video that most viewers cannot distinguish from a real recording in a normal viewing environment. Is it perfect? No. If you sit 2 feet away from the screen and analyze it frame by frame, you'll see that it's synthetic. But your prospects watching on their phone at 10 p.m. while they're researching divorce attorneys, they're not doing that analysis. They're listening to what you're saying and deciding whether they trust you. The content builds the trust. The avatar delivers it. Is it ethical? Am I misrepresenting myself? Well, this is the right question to ask, and I respect that attorneys are asking it. Here's my answer. The avatar is you, your voice, your appearance, your words, your approved message. You are not creating a fictional character. You're creating a scalable delivery mechanism for your own expertise. Think about it this way. When a law firm publishes a blog post, the attorney did not necessarily type every word. A writer most likely drafted it. The attorney reviewed and approved it, and it still goes out under their name. This is the video equivalent of that. You approve every script. The content is your expertise. The delivery is your likeness. The message is yours. Now, as with anything in this space, bar association rules vary by state, and they're evolving. We always recommend that firms check with their state bar on disclosure requirements, and some states may require those disclosures right now. Some have no specific guidance at all. This is a conversation worth having with your ethics counsel. But the technology itself is not inherently deceptive when used with your own likeness and your own words. Well, will clients be able to tell? Yeah, some will, especially as the technology becomes more widely known and people become more aware of it. But our recommendation is transparency first. If a client asks, tell them, yes, we use AI video technology to produce educational content consistently. Every video is scripted by our team, reviewed and approved by the attorney, and reflects our firm's actual guidance. That's not a weakness. That's a firm that's forward-thinking, being efficient, and serious about staying visible and helpful. Most clients will respect that. And the clients who are bothered by it, they were probably not going to be your best clients anyways. Does this replace the real attorney? Absolutely not. And this is critical. The Counsel Twin is not there to replace the consultation. It's there to earn the consultation. Your job in the research window is one thing: build enough trust that the prospect picks up the phone. Once they call, once they come in, once they sit across from you, that is the real attorney. That's you. The avatar just got them there. Think of it like a well-produced firm bio page or a very strong referral. It opens the door. You close it. A quick question before we keep going. Which of those objections was the one sitting in your head? The ethics question? The will it look real question? Something else? Do me a favor, drop it in the comments. I read them, and if there's an objection I did not cover, I want to know what it is. So let me make this concrete for you. What does Counsel Twin actually say? What kind of content actually builds trust during that research window? Here's how this looks across different practice areas. For family law, your prospect is in the middle of the worst period of their life. They want to know what to expect. Videos like, what happens at the first custody hearing in our state? Or, what does the divorce process actually look like month by month? Or 5 things you should never post on social media during a divorce. Or 5 things you should never post on social media during a divorce. This is the content they are searching for at midnight. And if your Counsel Twin is the one answering those questions, you're the attorney they call in the morning. What about criminal defense? The prospect or their family is terrified. They need information and they need to feel like someone understands their situation. So videos like what to do in the first 48 hours after an arrest. Or what does a criminal defense attorney actually do for you? Or the difference between a plea deal and going to trial. This is trust-building content that no one else in your market is probably producing consistently. Estate planning. This is a category where people know they need it and keep putting it off. Your content needs to create enough urgency to move them from someday to this week. Videos like what happens to your assets if you die without a will in your state? Or the 3 documents every adult over 40 should have right now. Or what about why a trust might protect your family better than a will alone? Business law attorneys, your clients are business owners. They're analytical. They want to understand the landscape before they engage counsel. So videos like, when does a business dispute require a lawyer versus a mediator? Or what every partnership agreement needs to include that most people skip? Or what about how to protect your business if a key employee leaves? Immigration attorneys, the stakes are enormous. The process is confusing, and your content needs to simplify and reassure. Videos like what the green card application process actually looks like step by step, or what to do if you receive a notice to appear, or how a visa denial affects your future application. Tax lawyers, your prospects are usually in some level of panic. They want to know their options. Creating videos like what actually happens if you owe back taxes to the IRS, or the difference between a tax lien and a tax levy, or how an offer in compromise works and who actually qualifies. Notice what all of those have in common. They answer the exact question the prospect is typing into Google or YouTube right now. They do not sell, they teach, and they position the attorney as the expert who understands the situation. That is the content strategy. The Counsel Twin is the production system that lets you execute it without the attorney spending half their week on camera. Let me walk you through what the actual process looks like when a firm works with us on Counsel Twin AI. Step 1 is the training session. The attorney blocks out time, usually about 15 minutes, and we capture the training data we need. We direct it, you just show up and talk. We guide the conversation to get the range of expressions, pacing, and vocal patterns the system needs. This is the biggest single time investment the attorney makes. Step 2 is the content strategy. We work with the firm to map out the specific questions their prospects are asking. What are people searching for before they call a firm like yours? We build a content map around those questions. Step 3 is production. Our team writes the scripts based on the content map and the firm's actual expertise, and the Counsel Twin delivers it. We handle distribution, YouTube, the website, social media, whatever it makes sense. And step 4 is consistency. This is where the compound effect kicks in. Week after week, the firm is showing up in search results and YouTube recommendations, on social feeds, and the attorney's face and voice are building trust with prospects who have not called yet. And the attorney's time investment after the initial training session is zero. That's it. The firms we work with that have adopted this approach are showing up in markets where they were previously invisible. They're getting calls from prospects who say things like, "I've been watching your videos for a few weeks and I feel like I already know you." This is the trust window working exactly the way it's supposed to. Now, I want to zoom out for a second. Counsel Twin AI is one piece of a larger system. The way we think about law firm marketing at Forward Push is that you need to be visible, credible, and responsive at every stage of the prospect's journey. Video handles the credibility piece during the research window. That is what we've been talking about today. But what happens when that prospect lands on your website at 11 p.m., ready to take action, and there's no one to talk to? That is where the next piece of the system comes in. In video 3 of this series, we're going to cover AI website chat, specifically a tool called Sidebar AI, and how it converts the prospects who found you through video into a book consultation, even at midnight, even when your office is closed. Video builds the trust. The website chat captures the moment. These two things together create a system that's working for your firm around the clock. But that's next week's video. Here's what I want you to take away from this video right now. Video is the most powerful trust-building tool available to a law firm right now. That is not an opinion. That is what the data shows about how people make decisions when they're looking for legal help. The problem has never been whether attorneys should do video. The problem has always been the production burden that makes consistency impossible. Counsel Twin AI solves that problem. It lets your firm stay visible and credible during the research window, the 2 days to 3 weeks when your next client is deciding who to call, without the attorney sitting in front of a camera every week. That is the tool. That is the opportunity. Now, if you want to see whether this makes sense for your specific firm, your market, your practice area, here's what I would suggest. Book a 12-minute call with our team. 12 minutes, not 15. I know how attorneys bill, and I'm not going to waste your time.